Good evening, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 5 of Scary Bazaar. As always, I am your hostess, Miss Spooky, and today we will be watching me doing a speed painting of SCP-3815, and we will also be discussing SCP-3815, otherwise known as Elena, the Ever-Present. Now, her object class is Euclid, probably because of how easily she is able to escape containment without even trying due to her condition. And her special containment procedures are, she's being held in a farm in Utah, and she is under the constant supervision of at least 3 Level 2 female personnel. Once a month, Site 11 sends supplies to their location. I made a note of that because I felt like that could be useful information to know if you're creating a campaign type thing around a character like this. SCP-3815 gets free roam of the farm grounds as long as she has an escort with her, and is allowed limited internet and TV access based on good behavior. Description. She is a human female of Icelandic nationality named Elena Bell. She is 20 years old and 1.5 meters tall, and she weighs 46 kilograms. Now, her location depends on her being in the line of sight of the nearest human being. If visual contact is severed, or if you were using like a D&D campaign, I suppose you could just make that any humanoid. Anyway, if visual contact is severed, she will dematerialize and rematerialize within the line of sight of the nearest human being to her, including all untethered objects touching SCP-3815's skin. It's another thing I made a note of because I feel like that could be useful in certain situations if you had to use her in some ways, possibly to get her and a special item or object out of a room with no other way out, and then the whole party could just close their eyes and she would pop out of existence or some such. Anyway, the SCP seems to have no control of her condition. Now, SCP-3815 stated that the phenomenon manifested itself 5 days after her 20th birthday following her mother's death. And all testing on SCP-3815 has ceased after Incident 3815-8, in which SCP partially materialized within a concrete wall, resulting in a substantial spinal injury. And they didn't have any notes or listing on whether or not that left her paralyzed or partially paralyzed, so I guess that would be up to the imagination. I mean, it could be interesting to also give her character some sort of limited mobility because of her spinal injury. Now, Addendum 3815-1. Any severed parts of SCP-3815's body seem to lose the phenomenon. And that seems to mean like cut hair and clipped fingernails and stuff from the article that I read. They don't just start following people around, that would be kind of gross. So I imagine then that if she was to take even more damage in some sort of battle type situation, lose an entire limb, that limb also would lose the ability to teleport places. Addendum 3815-2. Indirect lines of sight established through mirrors, cameras, reflections, etc. does seem to be sufficient to prevent the phenomenon from manifesting itself. And Addendum 3815-3, which I added as just kind of a rough summary of the interview provided at the end of the article, was that SCP-3815's mother's dying wish was that her daughter would always have someone to look after her. So I'm wondering if her mother hadn't accidentally cast some sort of wish spell or curse on her daughter with her dying breath, resulting in this phenomenon, which could also be some sort of interesting campaign or situation in which you might be trying to reverse it, possibly. I don't know, I guess that would be up to you. But that's really all I have on this one, so I guess I'm going to fill up the last few minutes of this with some pretty music. Like, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram. I'm on the Art Amino app, and I do have a Snapchat that I'm kind of on off and on. I think that one's Scary Bizarre 1, though. I don't know, if you're on my Instagram, I post the little snap code for it all the time on there. Anyway, stay spooky. I'll see you later. Bye.
Just look around, walk around and see. Working down in misery, working down in misery. Searching around, looking by side. What you see is what you get.